I'm sure you know about ChatGPT, but what you may not know is that ChatGPT is actually a business tool that can change your income forever. In today's video, we're going to talk about some top 4 business models that you can actually build with ChatGPT. And the last business model I'll be talking about is something you definitely don't want to joke about. Model number 1 that you want to explore with ChatGPT is digital product. Now, there are numerous people that are buying digital products over the internet day in, day out. I don't want to juggle between a lot of variations as far as digital products are concerned. So for the purpose of this video, we'll be looking at the digital product like an ebook. Alright, so many people are buying ebooks, millions of copies of ebooks every single day. But because we don't have the time to write these ebooks and we don't want to write new books that will find themselves very difficult to sell, we are going to actually leverage on books that are already in the market. For the context of this video, we are going to look at a book like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay, so what we have to do in this model is that we have to make sure that we make use of some of the lessons of Rich Dad, Poor Dad to be able to come up with our own book that is not a replica of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So what I did with my experiments on this particular business model was that I wrote the top 20 lessons of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad with ChatGPT. So if you look on my screen here, all I did was I asked ChatGPT to give us a 20 pages ebook, okay, that contains 20 lessons from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Alright, so the 20 Rich Dad, Poor Dad lessons that changed my life. That is the title of the book that ChatGPT is going to write for us. So this book is inspired by Robert Kiyosaki, and then you have the page 1, page 2, page 3. So all these are the pages of the book we're going to write. Now, the reason why this business model actually works is because Rich Dad Poor Dad has already sold millions of copies. And a lot of people want to actually read the book. And most of them do not have the time to consume all of the tens and tons of pages in that particular book. So people that are able to grab this 20 pages, top 20 lessons, are definitely going to be happy to pay for it. Alright, so page 9, page 10, up to page number 20, then the final words. Okay, so ChatGPT has been able to give us all of the page context. Okay, the title of the page, the key lesson, and then the insight. So all we have to do is let ChatGPT give us the content of every page, and then we can come up with our 20-page ebook. Alright, so we're going to make use of another tool that is Canva. Canva is going to allow us to be able to design the front and the back covers of this particular book that ChatGPT is going to write for us. So on Canva, all we have to do is simply search for book covers. So there are so many book cover designs on Canva that we can actually tap into, but we have to get a book cover that is a little bit closer to that of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So when we search for book cover, you can see lots and lots of books. Alright, these are all business related book covers, a lot of them, and they are all two pages. Some have the front and the back pages. So for the purpose of this, I'll just be using this one. Okay, so Think, Act, Grow. Alright, I'll be using this one for my book cover. So all I have to do is create the front and then the back, and then I can actually create the content itself, whether in Word document or in PDF. We can even tell ChatGPT to make this book that he is writing in PDF format. Then we just attach the front and then the back of this book. So if this book is going to have the title Rich Dad, alright, let's say Rich Dad, and then we are going to decrease this font to say 200, and then we can have Poor Dad, and then we can decrease this to 200 as well, and then we can just do top 20 lessons. Alright, top 20 lessons, and then of course we can decrease this to 200 as well. So whatever is here, this can come here, and then we can put us down here, inspired by, then we just put the inspiration there. We can get rid of this, so we have Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We can just change the background any way, anyhow we want it. Okay, we can bring in some new images, put any image at all, but this is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, top 20 lessons, inspired by Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, basically. So we're going to do this, and then we're able to actually clone this to create the back cover. So we have the front, and then we have the back cover of this particular book. Alright, so the front can be like this. We can have an image in the background. Okay, here we can just go to edit and look for that particular image which is in the background and then edit it. We can also come up with our own image if we go to our image library, or we can upload any image of our choice. Okay, we can just upload it and then make use of it. If we go to element in Canva, for example, we can just search for entrepreneur, because this is actually about business, and an entrepreneur's image can do the magic for us. Right, so when we come to element, we can look for the images. We can just grab this one, make it a background. Okay, so transparency, we make it a little bit thin. Okay, this is not working for us. So we can just change the context, that's the text, the colors, and all of that basically. So we want to have a different font, and then we can have a different back cover. So basically, once we have designed this, we can save this and then join it with our PDF book that ChatGPT is going to write for us. So assuming we are done with this, right? We are done with this book and we are able to download this PDF book cover alongside our PDF that ChatGPT is going to do for us. What we have to do is get a platform that is going to allow us to sell this particular book to the audience that are interested in buying this book. One platform that I recommend, I used not long ago, is seller.co. Okay, especially if you are in the Africa region, you can make use of seller.co to sell your book effortlessly. So this is the book covers that have been downloaded in PDF format. Alright, so on seller.co, if we're able to log in with our Gmail, we can be able to upload our products. I have an account with seller.co. I think I've uploaded 2 products, and it's showing here 0 sales, but I'm sure there should be quite a number of sales in here. If I go to all sales, yes, there are about 5 sales of digital products that I've actually sold from this platform. Alright, so all you have to do when your book is ready is register with seller.co. On seller.co, you have the chance to come to product, add a product. So under add a product, you're going to add the name of the product. So here, all these things are out. We are going to choose digital product. Okay, and then the image, this is the cover of the book that we're writing. So here we can just maintain just the first one and get rid of the back cover, because this is just like a featured image basically. You can take your time to edit this to see how you want your design to look like. Basically, this is just an example. Alright, so we can share this in the format of an image and then upload that image as a product image. Alright, the dimension has to be at least 300 by 300 pixels. The name of the product is the name of the book. That's the top 20 lessons from Rich Dad Poor Dad. The price we want to sell this book, of course, in Ghana city, because I'm in Ghana, so say 50 cedis. Alright, and then we can input whatever description, the category of the product. Okay, then we can actually choose digital products, and then we can upload the book here. Alright, once we drag the book here, we fill in the relevant things. We can just create the product. Once you create the product, we have a link that people can actually follow to buy the product. So this is how basically it works. Once the product is uploaded, okay, let me show you one of my products and how this whole thing works. Once the product is uploaded, we're going to get a link like this one. So this is the product that I have 5 sales for. Alright, and it has a link, definitely. I'm sure it has a link. So anybody that comes here to make a payment, they're going to have an interface like this that shows you the customer that bought it, how much they bought it for, and all that. This is a transaction that happened in my seller.co account in 2024 November. Alright, so basically, seller.co will allow you to sell the book to other people. Then it comes to the area of promotion. The most reliable areas to promote this book will be on Pinterest. You need to have your cover flying around on Pinterest. Secondly, you need to also participate in Facebook groups. There are loads of Facebook groups that actually talk about books, new book ideas, book lessons and recommendations and all of that. And if you're able to do that, you're going to reach quite a wider audience for your book. If your book is doing quite well, you can start your own Facebook page and actually run ads. Okay, so imagine running an ad for say $10 and reaching about 5,000 people who may be interested in buying a summary or the top 20 lessons from Rich Dad Poor Dad. If the book is selling 50 cedis and we're selling to even 10 people, that is 500 cedis, which I see as quite profitable basically. So once you are done with your book with ChatGPT, you come to Canva for your cover, you go to seller.co to be able to upload your book and then sell on the seller.co platform. So what seller does is that it collects the payments from people that are buying, whether with mobile money or with bank cards. And then seller pays you out to your respective bank account. And then you can scale this business with ChatGPT and all these platforms by running ads on a social media platform. So that is the first business model that you can actually build, and you can replicate this by building multiple books, right? Doing top 20 lessons of different books and selling them on the same seller platform. And trust me, this is a model that you can actually scale and do as many books as possible, reinvesting into reaching more people and actually growing your own brand around these top lessons from other people's book. And you don't have to put so much of time into this. It will take you just about an hour or two to set this whole business up, and it can run autopilot for you. So that is business model number one, making money with ChatGPT through digital product. Business model number two that I want us to look at as far as making money or building a business with ChatGPT is concerned is business automation. Now, with the help of ChatGPT, you can do a lot of things that most businesses don't have the time to do. Alright, so with business automation, we are going to actually do things that are going to bring sales one way or the other to businesses. And one of them is managing their social media handles. Alright, here we don't have to manually go in there and then post for them. So we are starting from the first step, that is drafting a social media calendar for the business with the use of ChatGPT, something that would have taken us so many hours to come up with. So ChatGPT is going to come up with ideas for us to draw a 30-day calendar for the business, and then we're going to use a platform called Buffer. Buffer actually allows you to schedule your post ahead of time, even for the next 1 month. Alright, so this business model is very simple. You can implement it for any business in just a matter of a day. Okay, you can do 30 days work in just a day. So we're using three platforms: ChatGPT to draft the calendar, 30 days calendar and the ideas. And then we are using Canva as usual to design the flyers, the videos, the creatives we'll be using. And then we'll use Buffer to finish it up by posting on the various social media handles for these businesses. Now, the step one is to come on ChatGPT, and just as I did, if you're someone that has good knowledge in prompt engineering, you can prompt ChatGPT properly by giving him a role, giving him a context, giving him some requirements, and then giving him what you expect. So basically, I can go like, act as an experienced social media manager and help me draft a 30-day social media calendar for a restaurant based in Houston. This restaurant is into blah 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 blah. I can talk about all of their dishes, all of their juices, all their drinks, anything that they do, all their uniqueness. I can tell all of it to ChatGPT. I can also specify the audience of this content that ChatGPT is going to do to ChatGPT as well. So I can tell him about everything he needs to know about the restaurant, so that he's able to come up with a very personalized calendar for content ideas for our social media post that we'll be making. So once you are able to come up with a very nice prompt, alright, you can also ask ChatGPT to ask you questions about what you intend to do. It's a very simple trick. So we go like, hey, ask me questions about a project I want to do for a restaurant based in Houston. I want to be able to draft a 30-day social media calendar to be able to post relatable or personalized content for this restaurant brand. And ChatGPT is going to ask you all the very critical questions that it needs to be able to come up with this 30 days content calendar. Once you're able to get a content calendar, it means you are going to now start making your creatives. Alright, so if you look at my idea, day one, it says that chef's special of the day. So we can either do a photo, okay, or a video of the chef doing something like content kind of, anything at all, whether it's a video or a graphic. So we have the behind the scenes, we have customer testimonials, we have staff spotlights, we have polls, throwback post, weekend promo, and a whole lot of things. So all these are ideas that came from ChatGPT, and it's even given us some hashtags that we can use. And as it's saying here, we should use Buffer for this. So with ChatGPT, you can actually build a business automation business or a social media agency business by drafting social media calendar, using Canva as we did before, to come up with the creatives and then making use of Buffer to actually automate the posting. Now on the Buffer platform, you have access to actually use the platform for free. Okay, for free you can connect Instagram, you can connect Facebook, you can actually schedule for the whole week all for free. But when you go extra, that is when you have to subscribe for their paid plan. So basically, if you are interested in starting a digital agency, right? If you want to start a digital agency with ChatGPT, with Canva, with Buffer, it's a business you can scale from one customer to the other customer, and then even have a whole pool of clients that are relying on you for their social media agency services, basically. So this is a second business model you can actually start and leverage your ChatGPT, Canva, and then Buffer. Internet business idea number 3 that I want to talk about as far as ChatGPT is concerned is content writing. Now, ChatGPT is helping us to write all of the content that we can write, basically, because there is no amount of articles ChatGPT cannot write. Now, all you have to do, okay, if you want to leverage ChatGPT to start a content writing business, basically you are going to become a content writing freelancer. Alright, people are going to hire you to write content for them. As you have to let ChatGPT know the business you want to start, that is in content writing. So if we go on a platform like Fiverr and we search for content writing, you can see that a lot of people are on Fiverr who are actually offering content writing services. So I will be your SEO website content writer or blog article writer, and this person is charging like $50 and above. Okay, so this is a business you can actually start. I'll write your marketing content, I'll write engaging content. So there are lots of content writing gigs. This guy here, unique article for your blog. So a blog article is something that can easily be written by ChatGPT, and then you can take time to edit and add a little bit of human feel to it, right? So this guy here has received a little over 1,000 orders so far, and he's charging from $10 and above to write content. So on ChatGPT, you can let him know what you want to do. Okay, I want to start offering content writing services on Fiverr. Alright, so the simple prompt is ask me questions as my content partner to be able to offer me all the content I may need for my customers. Alright, so once we have done this, ChatGPT is going to say, okay, that's a great move. Offering content, blah blah blah, can be very profitable, as you can see, especially if you're well positioned and prepared. Alright, as a content partner, I'll ask you essential questions to help you define your services clearly, create a strong Fiverr gig content, build templates and workflows to deliver efficiently, and stand out in your niche. So what kind of content, what industry, how many words, all of that, the gig strategy questions. So once you're able to fulfill all of these questions, ChatGPT becomes a powerful tool. There is no other tool that is going to help you build this content writing business better than ChatGPT. Alright, so point number 3 on business models you can actually start with ChatGPT is freelance writing. And Fiverr is one of the biggest platforms you can actually leverage as far as your freelance writing gigs are concerned. Let me know if you have questions about all these platforms in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to answer every single one of them for you. Let me also know which of the platforms you want me to do an in-depth content on, and I'll be more than happy to do that as well for you. That will be all for today, and I will see you in the next one.